Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It is early October 9th, 2015. They are saying a shooting happened at Northern Arizona University in Flagstaff, Arizona, in the early hours of this morning. They're saying one person is dead and three are injured. Let's begin with the mainstream coverage. What I want to show you is how this shooting is directly connected to the Roseburg, Oregon shooting, the last college shooting October 1st, 8 days ago. Today, the date of this shooting in Northern Arizona University, President Obama is in Roseburg, Oregon to meet with the victims' families from the shooting on October 1st. The reason this is creepy is because in 1968, Robert Kennedy, the younger brother of President John F. Kennedy, went to Roseburg, Oregon, part of a West Coast trip to speak about gun control, where he was later assassinated in Los Angeles. Robert Kennedy was killed 10 days after speaking in Roseburg, Oregon about gun control. Obama is repeating that exact trip right now in history. He's going to Roseburg, Oregon today, then he's traveling to San Francisco, then to Los Angeles, where Bobby Kennedy was killed, and then to San Diego before heading back to D.C. We'll touch on all this. I also want to look at the Gabbie Giffords shooting in history and how it syncs up with this. Show you what's going on here with all these shooting hoaxes, Truth Seeker. Here we go with the mainstream coverage.
Went on a shooting spree at the Oregon Community College. Another campus shooting. Just a week after that, gunman went on a shooting spree at the Oregon Community College, killing 9 people.
This morning, authorities are investigating this shooting at Northern Arizona University in Flagstaff, Arizona. I want to bring in CNN's Michelle Kaczynski following all the breaking details. Michelle.
Yeah, these details are still coming in, but here's what we know at this point. Northern Arizona University says one person was killed in a shooting on its Flagstaff campus. It happened outside the Mountain View Resident Hall at 1:20 in the morning local time. The university tweeting this emergency alert, telling students there to stay indoors. Mountain View Hall is described as a dorm housing most of the campus's Greek system. So a university spokeswoman is saying that 3 other people were shot in the incident, then taken to a hospital in Flagstaff. So right now, this has just happened not long ago, so there's no word on their condition, but we do know the shooter is in custody. So this is essentially over, but there's no word on a possible motive or other details. We're hearing, though, that there's going to be a press conference at 9 o'clock. Back to you guys.
A lot more coming out from there. Michelle, thank you so much, and hopefully we'll hear from the university.
So there's the coverage. We're hearing early that he's in custody, but you know what? In the Roseburg, Oregon shooting, we heard that the shooter was in custody, and then later they reported that he died in a shootout. Then later they changed the story and said he killed himself. So we'll see what they report later. They'll give us the shooter's name. I'm sure it's Hoaxalicious. But let me show you what's up, Truth Seeker. Let's just start right here. So there was just this shooting in Roseburg, Oregon, October 1st. They said the shooting in Roseburg was the 142nd shooting since Sandy Hook. Notice that Roseburg has Gematria of 42. Flagstaff has Gematria of 42 as well. When you write out the word 42, Truth Seeker, it sums to 142. And the shooting this morning was at Northern Arizona University, which has Gematria of 142. This is interesting because the direction northwest has Gematria of 142. The Roseburg, Oregon shootings in the Pacific Northwest, where President Obama is today. Again, they said the Roseburg shooting was the 142nd school shooting since Sandy Hook. After the shooting on my blog, I said to watch for Obama traveling to the Northwest because of this Roseburg shooting. The reason that I was thinking about that is because President Obama in Gematria sums to 142. And part of the irony of President Obama summing to 142 is that the word terrorist sums to 142. And think about how President Obama rhymes with Osama, the terrorist boogeyman that the American people were terrorized with by the mainstream media. And what a lot of people don't realize is that the attacks on September 11th lasted an hour and 42 minutes or 102 minutes, but an hour and 42 is like a lot like 142 for terrorist. If you write out the words 42, Truth Seeker, it sums to 142. Remember, Roseburg was the 142nd shooting. Roseburg, 142. Also interesting, if you write out the word 39, only the words 42 and 39 as numbers sum to 142. 39 connects because this shooting's in Arizona. There are only two states with a gematria of 39. They are Arizona and New York. Recall after September 11th, the World Series was Arizona versus New York, the only two 39 states. So I hope those points are clear, but there's a lot more to this, Truth Seeker. With all the shooting hoaxes, the number 33 is coded, and Flagstaff, Arizona is a city with 33 gematria, just like Oregon was the 33rd state, just like October is the only month with 33 gematria. Flagstaff, with the S exception, is 42. Again, we were talking about how that connects with Roseburg and all this 142 business. Flagstaff, Arizona has gematria of 72 and 81, which reduces to 9 in numerology. Last week, the final body count in Roseburg was 9 dead. There's been a whole lot of 9 lately. Obama attended a funeral for 9 in Charleston 9 days after the shooting. The next president to die in office will be the 9th president to die in office, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be Obama. Flagstaff, Arizona has gematria of 78, the big way for Flagstaff, and 84, the big way for Arizona. We'll talk more on that number. Very important number to Obama, to the nation. Also connects to the Gabbie Giffords shooting from way back when in Arizona. The numerology of today's shooting in Flagstaff, Arizona, October 9th, 2015. 10 plus 9 plus 20 plus 15 has numerology of 54, which is Obama's current age. It's also a date with 27 numerology, a fateful number. A date with 18 numerology, which can be broken down to 666. 27 can be broken down to 999, which is 666 upside down. Also, today has 34 numerology. And what's interesting about 34 is it's the 9th Fibonacci number, just talking about all the 9s. 9 victims last week in Roseburg. So here, Truth Seeker, what I have up on the screen is the January 8th, 2011 shooting of Gabbie Giffords in Arizona. This is a date with 40 numerology, and what's special about the number 40 is that it has gematria of 84. Giffords, who was shot, has name gematria of 84. Arizona has gematria of 84, and Obama in Jewish gematria equals 84. Obama's birthday is August 4th. He has many connections to Lincoln. Lincoln died on 4/15/65 in the year 1865. This is a date with 84 numerology. 84. Important number to the nation, to the Jesuit order. The word Jesuit has gematria of 84. United States of America in Pythagorean gematria is 84. Think about the book 1984 that begins on the date of April 4th, 44. The first president to ever die in office died on April 4th. MLK died on April 4th. 44 is a lot like 44. 44 is the kill number. So get this, Robert Kennedy visited Roseburg, Oregon to speak about gun control in 1968, the year MLK was assassinated on April 4th, the year World Trade Center construction started 33 years before 2001. Kennedy was in the 33rd state, Oregon. Notice how Kennedy has that 33 name gematria. Kennedy ends with that 4-7 coding. It was 47 years earlier that he spoke in Roseburg. He spoke on the date of May 27th, a date having this gematria of 239. Right now, the United States is 239 years old. That will be true until July 4th of next year. Oregon is the only state with 74 gematria, reminding us of the nation's birthday, 7-4 for July 4th. The date he spoke on, Truth Seeker, May 27th, 1968, a date with 38 numerology, like Oregon the small way. Oregon equals 38. The word death equals 38. Also a date with 56 numerology. The word president with the S exception equals 56. And also a date with 119 numerology. numbers that remind us of 9/11. The gematria for Star of David, the symbol of the Zionists, is 47, 56, 119. And the word Jew equals 38. Now look at how all those numbers correspond with the date Robert Kennedy spoke in Roseburg, Oregon. Remember, Roseburg has the gematria of 105, like Zionism, like Masonry. Robert Kennedy would be killed 10 days later on June 6th by Sirhan Sirhan. Look at how Robert equals 33 and Kennedy equals 33. Summing to 66, he would be shot on June 6th. His shooter was Sirhan Sirhan, who has name gematria of 66, just like him, or with the S exceptions, 84, the other number we're talking a lot about. This is what I mean, Truth Seeker, when I say our history has been scripted by the numbers, and the people who have done this scripting continue to do the exact same thing against us in the present. Here's another example today with the shooting in Flagstaff, Arizona, at Northern Arizona University. Here's an article talking about how Obama is completing the same trip Robert Kennedy did in '68. And let me remind you that the name Barack Obama equals 68. Caskets go 6 feet deep, are 8 feet long. He'll be going from Roseburg to San Francisco, a city that has been of much focus this year, to Los Angeles, to San Diego. San Diego has that gematria of 74 like Oregon. Again, that is the number connected to martyrdom. Jesus and cross equals 74. Jesus crucified at 33. Think about how Oregon, where Obama is the 33rd state, the only with a gematria of 74. This 33-74 pairing is a highly Masonic thing. So again, one more time, quick recap. The shootings at Northern Arizona University today having gematria of 142, a number that connects to President Obama, also connects to the Roseburg, Oregon shooting, the 142nd school shooting since Sandy Hook reportedly. Remember how when you write out 42, it sums to 142. Same with when you write out 39, it sums to 142. Shooting today is in Arizona, having gematria of 39. This is what I mean when I say hoaxes by the numbers, Truth Seeker. This is how our news is scripted. That is pretty much the extent of the message. From Gabbie Giffords to the present, we have been getting hoaxed a lot. It is all part of an ongoing agenda. Until next time.